Badness in the place, man.
Good morning, children. Good morning, my friend. I hope you have slept well last night. Welcome to MyZone online school. My name is Teacher Mudabeti. Our week's theme, we are going to look at summer. But before we continue with our lesson for today, let us sanitize our hands. We spray right inside our hands. We rub it through, out, between our fingers. Thank you. We have done it. Today's lesson, we are going to look at mathematics. Today's topic, we are going to learn how to count in twos. Alright, we are going to count in twos. We will just end up to 24 and downwards. You can continue alone at home. Alright, what do we do when we count in two? When we are counting in two, we have to know that we skip one number in between. Okay, so when we are starting from the 2. But what do? We skip the first one, the 1, we skip it, we count the 2. And we skip the 3, we count the 4. So let's try this. Let's keep one number and count the rest, the ones that I'll be pointing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Thank you. There, you got it. You have to always keep one number in between, and the next one is the one that you have to count when you are counting in two. So now let's look at page 3 and see what we can do there. Let's open on page 3. We are going to focus on the top exercise for the grade 2. But the grade 3s as well, you are most welcome to listen because you are doing this for your revision to remind yourselves. Okay, so the grade 2s, I would like you to complete the number lines which are given on page 3. Starting with the 2, the first number line, what will be the next number? 4, of course, will be the next number. So then you skip one number, you write in the box, you write in another box, and then you finish that one. You continue with the second number line. They have started on 12. 12 also, we are counting it as we are counting in 2. So continue skipping one number and find out the numbers that are missing in the boxes. Then we are going to continue with the grade 3. The grade 3s, theirs is a bit challenging. But we have learned how to count from 100 up to 200. Therefore, this will not be of a big challenge that you cannot do. I know you can do it. So let's start counting. When we are looking at number 1, what are we counting in? We are counting in twos. Therefore, I would like you to fill in the 2 numbers that they have left out for us. So when you check 120, then we go to 122, then what number should follow? Remember to skip one number in between when you are counting in twos. We go to number 2. In number 2, remember we have learned how to count in 5, we have learned how to count in tens, we have revised now how to count in twos. Therefore, before you start filling in the numbers, don't just fill in the counting of 2. You have to first check the numbers that are given to you in order for you to know which number are they counting in. Then that will be easy for you. Now let's see number 2. 135, 140, 145. What are they counting in? Are they still counting in 2? No. So find out in which number are they counting in. If they are counting in 5, then continue filling in the 2 numbers. And you continue to number 3. Number 3 is a bit challenging, but they have made it simple for us by giving us the 2 last numbers. Therefore, the 2 last numbers, they will give us a clue in which sequence are they counting in. So check the last number, 192, and then 194. So these people here, they have given us a bit of a thinking. We have to start with a big number and we are counting downwards. But in which number are we counting in? So when we check 192, 194, then we can get our clue there. In which numbers are they counting in? So find out for me and then write the numbers. You continue with number 4 as well. Number 4, they count 90, then they go to 80. And they will go to which number? Then they give us 60. 50, 40, and they jump one number, they go down to 20 and 10. They are counting backwards. But in which number are they counting backwards? Is it still in 2 or in 5? Find out by the numbers that they have given you. And the last one as well, you check the numbers. Number 5, you start with the last 3 numbers. Number 80, 85, and 90. So in which number are they counting in? They are counting in 2 or in 5 or in 10. My friend here, can you just try to help me? What do you think they are counting in? They are counting from 80, 85, 90. What do you think they are counting in? Very good. A big hand of applause there. And I know even you at home, you can still do it. Thank you very much. Let's turn on to page 4. We are going to start with the grade 2s. There is a number chart up to 50, but this is so simple. I know my grade 2s can do this since we have already learned how to count. So just fill in the missing numbers there, and then you go to the second activity there under. Just practice writing your number names. Practice writing your number names. You close your eyes and you write the number name and see if you know it. While the grade 2s are busy with their activity, let's go to page 5 for the grade 3s. All right, grade 3s, we have our table there, and we are counting. They are telling us we are going to count in 5 up to 100. So what we are going to do on the first table, we have to fill in the numbers that we have learned how to count when we are counting in 5. So fill them in. I'm sure this one also is very easy for you since we have learned that. And continue with counting in 10s as well, up to up to 100. You are going to fill in the numbers that are missing there. And I hope you still remember how to count in 10. How do we count in 10? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There you got it. So please just fill in the numbers there. And under there is a challenging one. You are not going to get these numbers anywhere where they are written, but I know for sure that you still remember how to write the number names. So we are going to write the number names from number 11 up to 20. So please try and write them there in the lines. We are going to learn about the even and the odd numbers. I'm sure you still remember what is an odd number and what is an even number, but I'm going to remind you. The even numbers are the numbers that we count when we are counting in 2s. Remember what we said when we are counting in 2? We skip a number and we count the next one. We skip, we count the next one. Those are the numbers that we count in 2, and those are our even numbers. We skip a 1, we count a 2, we skip a 3, we count a 4. So these ones that I'm counting is I'm counting in 2s are my even numbers. Therefore, my odd numbers will be the ones that I'm skipping. Every number that I have skipped is my odd numbers. So a 1 is an odd number, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and we continue. Those are my odd numbers. Don't forget that. So let's go to page 6 and see what exercises are there to do. For the grade 2s, I have an exercise for you. Oh, it's a very simple one. So I would like you to color in for me all the odd numbers in green. Please color all the odd numbers in green. Remember the odd numbers? Yes, you do. And color all the even numbers in blue. Use color blue for the even numbers and color green for the odd numbers. The next exercise is very simple. I would like you to circle, put a round circle around all the numbers which are odd. All the odd numbers, remember what are odd numbers? You skip them when you are counting in 2. Now we can go to page 7. On page 7 is a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to explain to you nicely how you can get to the answer. Let's look at the first example that they have given us. Remember what we have learned when we learned about the place values. We have learned about place values. The first example that they are giving us is a 12. So we are going to break down the number 12. When we are breaking down the number 12, how do we break it down? Remember the place values? A 2, what place value does it have? A 2 is a unit. And a 1 is a tens. So how many tens do we have? How many units do we have? So we have only 1 10. Therefore we write our 10 plus. And how many units? Remember the units are just like that. So the unit is a 2 and it remains a 2. Therefore we write our 2 there. So we have broken down this 12. We have broken it down. So that is how we do it. Now I would like you to do the others and see if you are able to break down the 17 as well. Now do the 17, number 1, and do 22, and do number 3, number 4, and number 5 in the same way. You just have to find out which one is the tens and which one is the unit. Let me try to do for you number 3, as it looks like it's a challenging when the units will change from a 1. What do we do? Okay, number 3 is 35. How do we break down 35? Remember to put the place values. That is a unit, and a 3 is a 10. Therefore, how many tens do we have here? We have how many tens? 3. Count the tens. 10, 10, and 10. Therefore, it's a what? A 30. 10, 20, 30. Therefore, you have a 30. Plus, how many units do we have? Remember, the units remains. We don't have to count how many. The same number is a unit. Unit means 1. Therefore, a 5 remains. That is how we have broken down that number. Therefore, now I would like you to do the others which we didn't do. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 5. Please enjoy it. That was the grade 2. The grade 3, please, you can do that. You start with the grade 2 work just to revise and remind yourselves. And so now let's look at your work, grade 3s. Yours is a bit challenging, just a bit. But if you know your place values, it's also not that difficult. So let's do the example that they have given us. Why did they do it that way? I'm going to explain to you. Okay, so they have given us the first one there, the example. So I'm going to do for you number 1. I'm going to do for you number 1 to plus. When you plus, you first break down your numbers and then you get to the answer. It's not that difficult. We have 55 plus 32. So how do we break the number? How do we plus that big number? The first thing we are going to do, we are going to break it down first. So in a 55, remember, we have the place values. Don't forget them. Don't forget the place values. So we are going to first add the tens and then we add the units. So we break it down first. 55, that will be 50 plus a 5. And here we are going to have 30 plus a 2. Now we add together the tens first. So we add 50 and 30 first. So the next step is a 50 and a 30. Then we are going to add a 5 and a 2. Yes. Now this will be very easy for us to get to the final answer. 50 plus 30. What will be the answer? It will be 80. And then 5 plus 2. These are units, remember? So plus 7. Now what is our final answer? Now it's very easy when it reaches here because it's just to say 80 plus 7 is equals to 87. So our answer will be 87. I hope you are following all the steps. It's not very difficult, ne? Okay, try the others and see if you can get them in the same way. Thank you. Okay, when we go to page 8, we are going to learn about the multiplication of 2. What do we do when we multiply by 2? Remember, to multiply means repeated addition. You are repeating to add the number. For example, the example that they have given us on page 8, 2 times 1. How do we get to the answer? It is repeated addition. So 2 times 1. How many times should we add a 1? We add it 2 times. Therefore, we say 1 plus 1. So what is the answer? Our answer is 2. So 2 times 1, now we know the answer is 2. Let me give you the second example. If we say 2 times 4, what will be our answer? Don't forget to repeat adding the number. 2 times the 4, meaning the 4 will be added 2 times. So 4 plus 4. What is 4 and 4? You can use your fingers or you can use your counters or the stones, whatever you get in place. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So I would like you to finish all the answers which are in the circle, in the outer circle. Your answers, you must put them nicely in the outer circle. That is the end of our lesson for today. I hope you remember what we have learned today. We have learned how to count. We have learned how to identify the odd numbers and the even numbers. And for now, I would like you to sit nicely at home, relax, and do all your revision of what we have done. Now we are going to sanitize again before we go. Let us sanitize. A nice spray inside of the hand, nice rubbing outside and between the fingers. Nice, that was wonderful. Thank you very much. Now we are going to call our friend Zoshi just to say goodbye.
Hi everyone, I'm Zoshi. And Simon says don't touch your face, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth unless your hands are super clean. Bye!
COVID-19 affects people very differently. Many people show no symptoms at all, but some are hospitalised for weeks. So what does the disease do to your body? The coronavirus enters through the mouth, nose or eyes. It then usually attaches itself to cells lining the nose, throat, airways or lungs. It can turn these cells into factories that multiply and spread the virus. For the majority, a fever, cough and breathlessness are as bad as it gets. But the virus can damage the small blood vessels lining the lungs and initiate clotting. The alveoli are tiny air sacs where oxygen goes into the blood. If they become inflamed, it can trigger pneumonia. Seriously ill patients need to be given oxygen as the lungs fill with fluid and debris.
I legit couldn't breathe. My oximeter was measuring under 88% oxygen levels, which is very dangerous. And the only time I ever thought my life was in danger was at that point.
COVID-19 doesn't just affect the lungs. It can also disrupt the immune system, which is used by the body to fight illnesses. Cytokines are part of the immune system that find and signal infections. For some people with severe COVID-19, this system can go into overdrive. If too many cytokines build up, it can cause an overreaction that damages healthy cells. This is called a cytokine storm for the most severe cases. COVID-19 can lead to seizures or even a coma. It can also cause brain problems that lead to strokes. The immune system overreacting can cause clots that stop the blood supply to parts of the brain. Brain inflammation, psychosis and dementia-like symptoms can also affect seriously ill patients. The average length of the illness is 14 days, but many people have symptoms for much longer. Breathing problems and post-viral fatigue last for months in some cases.
I cannot walk for long simply because I will feel a little bit short of breath and I feel the need to sit down. And that's something that has never happened to me before.
Some of the people who are most likely to develop severe symptoms are older adults and those with underlying health conditions. It's not fully known how anyone will react to COVID-19 until they get it. So it's important for everyone to follow health guidance. What precautions are you taking to stay safe?
got nerve.